Kathie J.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I am Kathie J, and thank you so much for watching The Kathie J Show. Yes, it's me, the name that you see on the really cool logo. Yes, I'm getting more t-shirts made to everybody out there. Mima, to Angela, to all of you. Yes, I'm getting more t-shirts made. You too can have the Kathie J logo. But today's show, this is something that, another thing that I was like, when I get my TV show, I want to do a topic on rejection because we can all relate to rejection, right? At one point or another, we've all felt rejection. From when we were kids all the way to being an adult, rejection is just something that's there. Remember back in the day, there was that rejection hotline? You remember somebody that asked you for your number and you didn't want to give it to them, so you'd give them the fake number? Well, here's the thing. This recording would come on and it would say, "Beep-dee-dee, the person that you gave your number doesn't like you." You should never try to call them again. So anyways, guess what? Producer Colleen looked it up. Now they're working on a text option. So all of you that want to continue to live through that life, there you go. So here's the thing though, rejection is a universal feeling, no matter what your age, your gender, your ethnic background. We all have experienced rejection no matter what, because all humans deal with it in life. Rejection can affect you in different situations, and it can be with a lot of different people. Rejection, though, doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. Don't just think it's about that boy or that girl right now, because I have a list of them going in my head, right? It's your friends, it's your family, and it's even in the workplace. So here's one of my big rejection stories, okay, everybody? So when I was trying to get on the radio as Kathie J, I literally had to audition. Getting on the morning show is completely different from just being a normal jock through the day. So I had done overnights. I was the cozy bear. I was putting in my time in promotions. I was auditioning on the morning show, and I couldn't read the news. It's still, the problem is still seems to follow me to this day. I couldn't read the news. So the program director was like, "Kathie, try reading the Bible out loud. Try reading this out loud. Read Shakespeare." None of it worked, right? So I had the personality to be on the morning show, but I couldn't read the news, and the female on the morning show back in the day had to read the news. Well, I couldn't do it, so they were bringing in all these other girls. I'm listening to them as I'm driving to my day job, which was What Can Brown Do For You? So shout out to all of you out there that are wearing the brown. So I'm driving, so I kept auditioning and I kept beating every girl. I was like, I can beat her. I know I got this. I got this. Every single one. I'm the final girl that's going to get the morning show gig. And they bring in Jennifer Wilde from San Francisco. And Jennifer Wilde comes in and I'm driving. I got my brown uniform on. I'm heading into work. It's 5:30 in the morning. I told everybody at work, listen, because the girl in the morning, she's not going to be good. After she's done, I'm going to get the job. It's going to be awesome. Well, Jennifer Wilde came in and she read that news like butter. She was like an anchor on a national news set. And I even heard the other jock said, "You got the job, you're hired." So I literally found out that I didn't get a job I really wanted as I was driving to work to a job that I was happy to have, but it wasn't the one I wanted. But you got to deal with whatever happens. And when I got to work, it was worse because every single person asked me about the job and told me that they heard the other girl got it. Ah, don't you love it? The point is, though, no matter what type of rejection you have, it cuts to the core, man. It just gets you something about it. But you don't have to let it sting for very long. Some of us are not very good at letting the rejection go, and we carry it with us. So I've brought in an expert that's going to help us break down types of rejection all the way from romantic to social media, and we can talk about how we can all make it move, and how we can all move on after the rejection happens, because we're adults and it still happens. So get ready, everybody. We are going to deal with our rejection fears. I'll see you in a second. Ramos Law is an official partner of The Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. So today we're talking about something that we've all experienced. Rejection. I can't even tell you how many times I've been rejected, even at the grocery store. I never get the right line. But anyways, the fear of not being accepted or not loved, now that one really hits a core with a lot of us, and it can imprison us. If we don't deal with it, we have to deal with it, especially when it's with a husband, a wife, a spouse, someone in an intimate relationship. Sex and marriage therapist Leslie Gustafson, she's the one that I always go to for things like this. Everybody, please welcome Leslie to the Kathie J Show.
Delighted to be here.
I know, I got the show, girl. I got the show.
And you didn't reject me, so I appreciate it.
I could never reject you. Okay, so let's talk about rejection, because you are the best when it comes to how people are feeling, and especially when they're in relationships. The rejection, it's really, when it comes from your intimate relationship, the person you're spending your life with, that one cuts you to the core and really can be dangerous. Why?
Yes. Hopefully not. Hopefully rejection only sometimes happens in your intimate relationship. It is inevitable that we will get hurt.
Yes.
We've all been hurt in our histories, and we will get hurt again in our current relationship.
Right.
Sometimes, however, the psychological health of one of the partners, or both, isn't really great, which means there's some deep injury and wounding and hurts that have never been worked through. And so they're already super sensitive to injury and rejection.
Yes.
And they see it everywhere. And so they're perpetually creating situations where they're feeling like you rejected them.
Yes.
And they can get really livid, really aggressive around it. We're typically talking about it goes both ways, but abusive or narcissistic men who can't handle when somebody doesn't reciprocate or respond to them in the way that they wanted, which is you adore them, you love them, you agree with them.
Yes, yes. You can't live like that. That's not right.
Those are really the most unhealthy situations, and the antidote there is whether you need to be in that at all.
Okay.
Because if you're being consistently, repetitively in a relationship where rejection is a way of life, and you're feeling abandoned and hurt, and then you start doing that, well, maybe it's me, but it's really not, and you get confused and lost, that's the time to go, something's not right here, because something's really not right.
Because when the person that you're in the relationship with, that should be your most sacred, trusted, help you grow in the right way kind of relationship. That's the whole purpose. That's what we're all trying to get to.
The purpose is love. The purpose is connection. The purpose is doing life with each other.
Yes.
And occasionally, inevitably, somebody in a relationship will say something wrong or off, or you take it in a funny way.
Yeah.
And you have that moment of going, ouch, that hurt. And for connected, intimate partners that can do this in a safe way, to be able to talk about those moments, to discover what the heck just happened.
So is that what needs to happen? Is if I feel rejected, I need to break it down with my spouse and say, when you did this, or when my husband, the girls and I, we go and do our thing, and it's like, oh, I didn't think you'd want to be a part of that. And he was like, oh, I felt like you're rejecting me, like you're purposely leaving me out of stuff with you and the kids.
And that was his experience.
Yes, right.
Probably not your intention.
Not at all.
Nevertheless, we get hurt. All sorts of things can feel like once upon a time when we got hurt, or we just got hurt in the moment and we're not even sure why, but we know we don't feel right.
Right.
And so that's the time to go, maybe by yourself if you can, what's going on with me?
Right.
Did I overreact?
Yes.
Is there something real that
Is it possible I overreacted?
Or I misinterpreted a situation based on my history. Nevertheless, you can still lean in and get clarity with your partner and say, so this is what's going on with me, and I don't know what exactly happened or what you meant, but for me, that really hurt. I felt unloved. I felt like you kind of dissed me. And
depending on how the response you get back is then that leads into, should you stay anymore? Is this, where do you go from here? Like, you got to sort it out.
You've got to sort it out with each other. And if you have a loving partner who can do this, who's mostly safe, not all of us, we're not all 100% safe.
Exactly.
Beings, but mostly safe, who can say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
I was just getting distracted, or I was stressed out, and I'm
you
sorry,
want
babe.
that.
Yeah.
But when you start feeling like you're drowning, you need to start setting boundaries and stuff. But this is where I hold off on Leslie, because she's coming back. Don't worry about it, everybody. All right, so Leslie is coming back, and we're going to talk about establishing those boundaries and also rejection when it happens with your family, your friends, social media. The rejection cuts us to the core. Yes. So everybody, right now, you can go check out Leslie in the commercial break. You can always connect with her at authenticandtruecoaching.com. She's also on Instagram and Facebook, Authentic and True Coaching, and she's got an exciting online transformation program coming out.
I do.
Yes, you do, for women. Amazing you. But we're going to talk about that all when we come back. We'll be right back. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. So we were just talking about rejection when it comes to your intimate relationships, but there's a lot of other rejection that happens out there, let's be honest. Family, relationships, work. Blah. Leslie Gustafson is back to continue the conversation. Okay, so we just kept talking during the whole commercial break. Like this and this and this and this.
It's easily done.
Exactly. Okay, so let's pivot and move to getting rejected at work. That is affecting your money. You know, that's affecting what's coming home and feeding your kids and stuff. So if somebody's messing with you or you're feeling the rejection of climbing that ladder at work, this is serious.
It is serious, but unlike intimate relationships, I think it's almost easier to navigate.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be or shouldn't be as personal, and you aren't trying to establish as much connection or love or any of those kinds of things.
True.
So I think the mindset that we want to have around rejection is it's going to happen.
Okay.
It happens every single day. And if you have a mindset that I am going to learn when I get rejected, I'm going to use rejection as an opportunity, I'm going to discover more about myself, others, and learn new skills. And ultimately, these are experiences outside of the intimate relationship of building resilience. Yes.
I get that. I get
You're
that.
going to
But
go to your workplace and it's going to happen. Your neighbor is going to not invite you to a party.
Yes.
Your friend is going to exclude you.
Right.
Like, is there a day without something that didn't go the way we wanted it to? And we went, oh,
You're
I
right.
like that.
Right. You're right. And it could be a stranger. It could be
Right.
it could be someone that didn't let me into a lane. Everybody else got into that lane. Why
Right.
did I didn't get in the lane? So you're right. But how many times do we have to tell, like women, for instance, is like, oh, you didn't get to go with all of the dudes that go golfing at your job because for some you don't golf and you didn't get invited. And how many times does that happen in the corporate world? And we're just supposed to tell her, get resilient, girl. You know.
I think we need to figure out what the heck is going on.
Okay.
Right? What is happening there if you're consistently being excluded from things? Is it them or is it you?
Okay.
There is some stock that needs to be taken.
I want you to know right now, it's them.
And if it's not you, please don't own it. Too often we can take responsibility for things and feel bad when it had nothing to do with us.
Yes.
And so being able to find out, what was that about? Why was I excluded? That's the place to start.
Okay.
Because we don't have to feel rejected and hurt if it wasn't really for us. Now, if something's purposely being done because somebody doesn't like us,
That's
and now
different.
they've excluded us and we discover something,
The gloves are off.
that can feel hurtful. But
Yes.
even there, and this is where it gets hard, are you going to take a moment and is it true about me?
Okay.
Is there something being said here that I need to consider?
La 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 la. I don't know what you're talking about, Leslie.
And that's the hard stuff. Or is it really not who you are?
Okay.
And the greatest buoyancy we can have in life when it comes to rejection is having a solid sense of who we are.
Yes.
And our identity. When we know the truth that we are awesome, that we are lovable, that we're worthwhile and valuable, and we know that in our core,
Right.
then when things happen, we aren't so infected by it that it undoes us.
I know, because it's kind of like fighting the bully. You just got to remember it's not
Yes.
true and you're a good person.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
What about when it comes to social media? Because that's happening a lot right now. And, like, oh, wow, I see they all made it to happy hour and didn't invite me.
Yes,
I
when
mean,
it's in intimate relationships, I mean, I think everybody experiences kind of superficial rejection because the internet isn't always a very safe place.
Right.
Because everybody just says things they would never say in person that are sometimes awful and horrid. Now,
Yes.
if you take that personally, then that's not a good place for you to be.
Right, don't
But
take
you
that kind of
cannot
stuff.
take that stuff personally at all.
But when it's
water
actually-
off a duck's back, right?
exactly.
There.
But when
Yes.
it's actually your friends, your crew,
Yes.
and they didn't like your post, I mean, how do
Right.
you handle people, adults, like we
Or
handle
you
that
see
wrong.
all your close girlfriends did a night, and
Yes,
you
they
weren't
did.
there.
Yes.
And you think, whoa, am I not fun enough? What
So
happened?
right. So how do I get over the fact that I keep going back to my phone and they haven't liked
Yes.
it?
Here's where sorting and assessing the situation is. Are they super close girlfriends? Or aren't they?
Okay.
Are they acquaintances? And maybe you could see where you might not have been in that fold.
Okay.
But if it's a close girlfriend, you're going to want to deal with that. If you want to maintain that relationship.
Okay.
Right? You're
Yes.
going to want to say
I'm calling you.
It can be really hard. I don't get it. I don't
Okay.
get why I wasn't included and it hurt.
But then you sound like the
No,
weirdo that
not with a close girlfriend.
Okay.
A close girlfriend will get that.
Okay.
That might not work with acquaintances or people who are, in your workplace that don't really know you because
Okay.
that's too intimate. You're counting on the fact that you have a safe, connected relationship
Yes.
with her. And if you have a close friendship, you already know on some level she's going to get you.
Okay.
And there's going to be a soft-heartedness towards
And
you.
that should go with family as well then.
Yes.
If you feel like
Who
anything in your
can
family.
do it with you?
Okay.
If that person is close and you have a significant relationship, what you're going to do there is going to be different than the other things. You're going to have to go, you know what, not about me, or I'm not going to take that personally. But if you want that relationship to continue, either you're going to have to find a real way of letting it go and not giving it meaning to yourself,
Okay.
or you're going to have to interact and say, that didn't work for me.
Okay.
And that's not easily done.
It's not.
It takes
But that's
courage.
about, like you said, she
Yes.
is establishing some boundaries.
Yep.
Am I going to let this get to me? Why
Right.
is it there?
Yes.
And then if it's gotten to you, you could become somebody that's the prolonged rejection. Like that's all you live in is the
my
world of
gosh.
rejection, and you don't want that, everybody.
No.
So take Leslie's advice, break it down, analyze: is it worth it? Is it not?
Yes.
If it is worth it, you need to have the
Take
next
stock.
communication.
Is it them? Is it you? Figure it out, because we can control to a good degree how much hurt we experience.
Yes.
If we decide they're horrid, I'm awful, and we sink into that as truth, guess what just happened to our mood and our ability to move forward?
We got better.
we got to work that through.
You know what? Speaking of work it through, thank you, Leslie. I love Leslie.
I love you.
For more information and to find Leslie, you can always connect with her, authenticandtruecoaching.com. But here's the big thing. You can also find her on Instagram and Facebook. She's got an exciting online transformation that's coming out, and it's called Amazing You, and it's about the fact that you can help women. It's a 10-week course of just, it's really good stuff. Tell everybody real fast.
My women go from completely stuck, issues, pain, mood, relationship struggles, even career difficulties to, by the end, no kidding, by the end of 10 weeks, they're like on fire.
On fire! And they're on fire! Amazing You, Authentic and True Coaching. We will be right back. Thank you so much. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so thank you very much to Leslie Gustafson. I love you so much. I love you, Leslie. We've been talking about rejection this past half hour, excuse me. And I also asked you guys on Facebook. So that's what I'm going to start doing, everybody, is when we have a topic coming up, I'm going to start posting the topic on Facebook so you guys can share your stories. So I posted over the weekend, share some rejection stories with me. And this is one of the ones I got. The first one's coming from Marissa. I love you, Marissa. Marissa says, I was casually seeing a Navy guy who lived in California. After a few months, he came to stay with me and spend Thanksgiving with me and my family, which was his idea. After he went home to California, he stopped speaking to me. He had been buying me gifts and promising me all these things. He even spoke to my son every night. I was devastated. Oh, that's a horrible rejection. I'm so sorry, Marissa. And Marissa, you're like the nicest lady in the world. So reading those kind of stories just really hurts my heart. I'm so sorry. The next one we got was from Gretchen. Okay, now this one had, so we didn't mean to laugh at this, Gretchen, but okay, you ready? She said, I had the biggest crush on this guy in college, and I ended up running into him at a party. We were, in my opinion, like hitting it off. We were talking all night long. One of the topics that we bonded over was our love of the ocean and tropical fish. So he mentioned that he had a really cool saltwater fish tank at his house and said, do you want to come see it? And I thought, okay, this is where we're going. We're totally hooking up. At the end of the night, we go to his house. We took a cab. We walk in the door. There's the beautiful fish tank. She says, I went straight to the fish tank. He told me all about the fish, pointed out all the different tank features. And then the guy looked at her and said, so it's really cool that you're into this. You want me to call you a cab or somebody coming to get you now? I'm so sorry, girl. Then he said he was nice enough to bake. Then she said he was nice enough to bake me a Totina's pizza party while we waited for my friend to come pick me up. Which this is where the problem was. So Colleen backstage back there was like, why couldn't she at least get a DiGiorno's? And I was saying the Tostinos are like my favorite. Those Totinos, it's like 10 for $1, and you just roll that pizza right up into the thing. And But I wanted to say I have a similar situation like that, just for everybody out there, the rejection with the boys. So let's start. First off, rejection on my credit card applications happens all the time. I'm not offended by that anymore. But the one it was with the boy. So I had a concert, and I was Kathie J at this time. Like I had the morning show. I was single Kathie J, and there was a guy that I had been kind of seeing when I used to, work at a call center, okay? So I go to the Alicia Keys concert, and I'm like, this is a great night. Everything's perfect. And now, Rick is calling me. I'm going to his house. So I go to his house. Everything's fine. And then Kathie J got sick. So I got sick. And what did Kathie J want to do? I just wanted to sleep. But no, Rich actually told me, this isn't a Holiday Inn. You have to go. So I just heard everybody, that hurts. So there you go. Rejection happens. You got to deal with it. Thank you, everybody who watched today. A big, big thank you to my partners, Ramos Law, FitMD, Oakwood Homes, and Colorado Lottery, and IKEA Centennial for my set. Leslie Gustafson, as always, I love you. Thank you for helping us. Ways we can cope with our lives. I will see you guys tomorrow on The Kathie J Show. Bye.